But before this night of horror, let me take you back to where it all began. In the busy heart of Abuja, where traders shout from morning till night, there was one woman everybody knew as Madam Jennifer. Her thriftwear shop in Wuse Market was always neat. Her clothes were very beautiful, mostly grade 1 thrift, and her smile could charm any buyer. Customers trusted her because she sold good things at fair prices. Life was imperfect, but it was peaceful. She had one daughter, Chloe, her pride and joy. And though the money wasn't plenty, it was enough to put food on their table. But in Nigeria, contentment is rare. And soon, Jennifer's heart began to change. At first, it was just small whispers in her mind. What if I could make more money? What if I could be the biggest thrift seller in Abuja? One hot afternoon, Madam Jennifer sat in her stall, counting her small profit. Just then, her friend Ruth walked in, glowing with wealth. She wore a shiny lace gown. Her handbag was designer, and her perfume filled the air. Jennifer's eyes widened. "Ruth, where you see money buy all these things?" Ruth chuckled, shaking her head. "Jennifer, you dey waste your time. You think people in this city get rich by ordinary hustle? No, there are other ways. If you are ready, I can take you." That night, Jennifer tossed and turned on her bed. The thought of wealth, luxury, and a better life for Chloe burned in her heart. Few months later, after Jennifer has finally made up her mind, Ruth led her deep into the outskirts of the city. The journey felt long. The tarred road soon gave way to rough sand paths surrounded by tall grasses. They passed broken fences, old huts, and giant trees whose shadows seemed to whisper. The further they went, the more Jennifer's heart pounded. Her mind kept asking, what if this is a mistake? What if God punishes me? But she swallowed her fear and followed. They arrived at a compound where an old spiritualist sat cross-legged, his eyes sharp like fire. His skin was wrinkled, but his gaze pierced like knives, making Jennifer's knees weak. "My daughter, you want riches? Then listen. Each time you bring thrift clothes, choose some and sacrifice them here. The spirits will bless your shop. But," he leaned forward, his voice dropping, "every cloth you sacrifice will carry power. Whoever buys it will take part of the cause home." Jennifer's body trembled, fear fought with greed. She could hear her heart beat in her ears. Her palms grew sweaty, her lips dry, and for a moment she wanted to run. But greed won. She agreed. At that very moment, a cold wind swept through the compound, as if the spirits themselves had welcomed her decision. From that day, everything changed. Jennifer's store became the hottest spot in Wuse. Clothes that used to stay for weeks now disappeared in hours. Customers fought to get to her first. Other sellers whispered, Jennifer don't blow. Her own shop they always full. Which soap she they use?" Jennifer only smiled, but her heart carried a secret darker than anyone could imagine. The curses began quietly. One woman bought a gown. That night, she woke up screaming, cold hands pressed on her throat, choking her. A young man bought jeans. Weeks later, he lost his job, his health fading away mysteriously. One by one, her customers carried home torment. But since nobody suspected Jennifer, business continued to grow. Whenever Jennifer stayed in the shop till 8 p.m., she hears voices whispering inside her shop. At first, she thought it was just tiredness playing tricks on her. But the whispers grow clearer, calling her name. Jennifer, Jennifer. Her body would stiffen, her palms sweaty. But when she turned around, no one was there. Shadows moved along the walls, bending and stretching, like unseen hands were reaching for her. And at night, the torment followed her home. She had nightmares, people wearing her clothes, crying, begging for help, their faces pale, their eyes empty, their voices echoing, "Return what is not yours." One evening, Chloe asked innocently, "Mommy, why do I feel scared whenever I enter the shop?" Jennifer's heart nearly jumped out of her chest. Fear turned to anger. She slammed her hand on the table so hard that Chloe flinched. Chloe, how many times did I call you? Never, ever touch clothes from that shop. I'll always buy you your own. Promise me." Chloe, though confused, nodded slowly. She couldn't understand why her mother's eyes looked so wild, or why her hands were shaking as she spoke. But deep inside, Jennifer knew the secret she carried was now threatening her own home. But temptation came. Chloe had just gained admission into university. She was so excited and wanted to look good for school. Without telling her mother, she sneaked into the shop and picked beautiful dresses, tops, and trousers. At home, she twirled in front of the mirror, laughing at how fine she looked. But by midnight, her laughter turned to screams. Mama, the clothes, they are burning me." Jennifer jumped from sleep, rushing to her daughter. "What clothes, Chloe? What are you talking about?" Chloe's body was on fire. Jennifer rushed her to the hospital. Test upon test showed nothing, but Chloe's eyes rolled in torment as she cried, "Mama, the clothes from the store." Jennifer froze. Her knees buckled. "Oh, but I warned you. I warned you never to touch those clothes. I always buy you new ones. Why, Chloe, why?" Her heart broke. She knew her greed had finally come home. Jennifer ran back to the spiritualist, tears streaming. She fell on her knees. "Baba, save my daughter. Take the money. Take everything. Don't let her die." But the old man only laughed. "Did I not warn you? Every curse you send out must one day return home. The spirits are hungry. They have chosen your daughter." "No. Please, Baba, take me instead." He shook his head slowly. "The spirits do not bargain." Jennifer staggered home to find Ruth waiting. Ruth whispered, "Jennifer, I warned you. The same thing happened to me. My own brother wore one of the cast clothes. He died. The spirits don't care about family. They only care about sacrifice." Jennifer screamed in pain. "So you knew? You destroyed me too?" But Ruth only lowered her head in shame. Days turned into nights. Chloe grew weaker. Jennifer sold everything, running from prophet to herbalist, pastor to healer. Nothing worked. One night, Chloe whispered, "Mama, I don't want to die. Why me?" Jennifer wept bitterly, holding her only child close. Moments later, silence. Chloe's hand dropped cold. Jennifer's scream shook the night. From that day, Jennifer's shop never opened again. The once busy store that used to shine with colorful thrift clothes now stood empty. Dust gathering at the entrance. Doors locked as if sealing away its secrets. Some said she ran mad. Others said she vanished. But those who knew whispered the truth. She poisoned herself. Her greed had built a house of sorrow, and when it collapsed, it buried her too. So when next you see clothes glittering under the Abuja sun, ask yourself, is it just fashion or is there a story behind it? No matter how hard life gets, don't let greed lead you into darkness. Because when you play with evil, the first victim might just be the one you love the most.